In West Virginia, there was a terrible leak into the Elk River, and let me tell you the damages that were done. First of all, we had 7,500 gallons of 4-methylcyclohexane methanol that leaked into the river. Now, that doesn't sound good. That sounds like that might be a little dangerous. Well, the water started smelling funny, and then people started checking into the hospitals. It is not good. Now, what happened? There's 300,000 residents of West Virginia that had to be warned, do not do anything with the water. Don't drink the water, don't shower in the water, get away from the water, okay? Now, this is obviously a huge problem for those 300,000 residents. Hotels were closed down, restaurants were closed down. One of the problems that the restaurants had is that the employees couldn't wash their hands with the contaminated water, let alone cooking in the water, let alone everything else. Planes into the area were canceled because pilots and stewardesses refused to go into the area because it's so dangerous. But I'm glad the media isn't covering it that much here in America. I mean, when a corporation spills all that pollutants into the environment, that's not that big a story, right? I mean, what's going to happen to Chris Christie? That's the bigger story. So how many people had to seek treatment? 32 people went into the hospital. How long did this last? 5 days. They went with no water for 5 straight days. Finally, today, they say that it is now safe enough to drink the water in West Virginia. Me, I'd wait a couple extra days, right? But now, look, if you're one of those 300,000 residents, you don't have a lot of choices. That's your home. I mean, a lot of those folks are not Mitt Romney. They don't get to go take a vacation in Barbados while they wait for the water to get clean again, right? So they're in a tough, tough situation. Now, as I was reading the Associated Press story on it, I came to an interesting sentence that I think sums it up. Now, first, you have to understand something, and I love this. The name of the corporation that leaked the contaminants into the water is Freedom Industries. I mean, how perfect is that, right? No, it's okay that we might have poisoned your water supply because we're for freedom. In fact, we make freedom. We're Freedom Industries. We also make a little bit of poison that sometimes leaks into the water. But hey, freedom isn't free, right? We'll get to that in a second. So here is that line from the Associated Press that I love. According to the Department of Environmental Protection officials, Freedom Industries is exempt from DEP inspections and permitting since it stores chemicals and doesn't produce them. Well, I see if you're storing dangerous chemicals, I'm sure that isn't going to be a problem at all, unless, of course, they leak into the river. Now, gee, I wonder why we had a problem here. Could it be that if you don't regulate someone and say, hey, go ahead and make as much money as you like off of this, and if there's any problems, you know, the residents the public will have to deal with it. Capitalism for you. If you've got profits, that's definitely capitalism. Oh, there's costs? Yeah, well, we're going to use socialism for that and just put that on the American people, and in this case, the people of West Virginia, okay? Hey, freedom isn't free, man. Look, if you're in the Freedom Industries business and you poison the water, it's a sad day for West Virginia, right? You know what I'm saying? Inspections, no. Regulation, we're over-regulated. I mean, if you regulate, what's going to happen? Next thing you know, we're not allowed to leak poisons into the water. Goddamn regulation, big government. Here's what I'm not in favor of, big government. Now, I would like to get into your womb to do a forced ultrasound. But if you mean big government, like we regulate people so they don't leak poisons, oh, I hate big government. Look, companies give to the government, ironically, when their government officials, Republicans usually, but sometimes Democrats as well, go and complain about big government. They love big government when it's spying in on you, when it's getting in between you and your doctor, and it's getting inside your body. They love big government. When they say they don't like big government, what they mean is they don't like when big government tries to actually do its job and protect you. That's when they hate big government, because that puts a crimp in their style, man, and takes a couple of pennies off their profits. We can't have that. So the good people living near Elk River, sad day for you, man. Have I said it enough times? Freedom isn't free, man. All right. By the way, now as you just saw there, I'm a little animated about this story, but I know, of course, that all the Sunday talk shows were abuzz about this, right? I mean, it was all over. I mean, it was like the BP oil spill here. I mean, this affected all the good folks in West Virginia. Oh, wait, I'm getting late breaking news that the people who run the Sunday talk shows don't know anyone in West Virginia and don't give a damn about them. And certainly don't love to do stories about how corporations poison the water. So, turns out, in fact, here's the number of stories that the Sunday talk shows did about this spill in West Virginia. 0. I believe the Spanish have a word for it. It's called nada. Okay, now, on the other hand, there were important stories done, including this segment on Meet the Press. Will Chris Christie survive this scandal to run for president in 2016? Well, I'm glad they're on it because that's only a couple of years away. 2, 3, depending on how you're counting, and depending on when you think the primaries start. Okay, I mean, people are poisoned today. But what's going to happen to the horse race in 2.5 years? But that's not all. And as Jason Linkins points out at Huffington Post, to be fair, when you went to Martha Raddatz, she did do a good story on Bow Bow. No, that's not the latest dance craze. That apparently is a panda, a 4.5-month-old panda. So cute. So cute. What Freedom Industries did, not as cute.